by user-generated content. Now, who are the users of social media? It is us, everybody sitting here today. And we have to focus on one particular thing, that all the algorithms that are designed by the social media are managed by them as well. I understand there are a lot of people, as in the scale of people who are present in social media today is in millions. It is impossible for them to control. But being held liable for certain types of content should be introduced into this particular motion. Along with that, we saw that recently, even in Operation Sindoor, a lot of fake news was spread by various social media accounts in social media. But at that point of time, those social media platforms were held accountable.
So good afternoon everyone, I'm Aditya. So social media is something that acts as a publisher. So user has the ability to control what they need to do. It's not that social media just having the user income just can post anything, but the user should be held also responsible and liable on what they're putting the content and all. So let's make sure that when a social media publishes information of what user has done, he also has the ability to make or control what users can also post. So it's the user, also the social media, which works together in order to make sure the information is held liable and there's no any sort of misinformation or biased information that has been passing. So also when we talk about social media which is held liable, the US government has also provided the section 230 for social media platforms in order to manage and also protect them from also publishing the content that has been required. So when we talk about algorithms, the thing that is, the algorithms is changing. So when there's a particular trend of algorithm, the algorithms change. User has that ability to change the algorithm by making sure that what content he watches is useful for him. So
I would like to just bring in a statement here by saying we are discussing about whether social media platforms should be held liable, not the user. So let us not drift away from the topic and focus more on the social media platforms. See, what I was trying to say when I mentioned about Operation Sindoor was a lot of fake news was spread and there was no measures taken by the social media platforms like Twitter, which is now called X, Instagram, and all these social media platforms which people rely on for information. There was no, what do you say, proper communication from everybody, like all the social media platforms together. Hence, government intervened and made sure that these particular fake news is stopped. And this was the right move according to me.
So basically, social media is just a publisher. Okay? So there are a lot of contents that provided by the users. There are n number of contents that also cannot be controlled by the social
media. But is it not the right of the publisher to hold accountable, like to make sure that whatever things are being published in the social media are also controlled and censored?
It's not only one part of social media that we are talking about. The whole world is circulating around the social media and the information. So you're targeting only one part. So if Operation Sindoor is providing some sort of information, there is another set of information being provided in the other set of content.
My whole question was regarding the fake news that was
that's what I'm trying to tell. So social media is also run by the users. Social media is also run by the people.
Social media, like the people who control social media, are just the publishers. I completely agree with that point. My whole question here is, if they are the publishers, do they not have the right, or it is not their duty, to control whatever is being posted in their channel?
Okay, let me talk. If you're talking about the misinformation, let me tell. If one person is controlling the misinformation, how could you tell himself that this is particular misinformation? For us, Operation Sindoor, whatever misinformation we have seen, that is our ground reality of what India has provided to us.
Let us come to a conclusion that it is not the responsibility of the people. Let us agree to disagree. I would like to ask you a question. If that is the case, then who should be held liable for that?
See, basically, if you are living in a house which is given for a rent, it's the user who stays inside the house which is reliable on what he does with the house. Owner has provided you a shelter to stay. The owner who decides what is the
now it is the responsibility of the owner also. In my conclusive statement, I would like to see that you cannot create an algorithm, design it, and still blame somebody else so that you can't control it. I know that the sheer number of people using social media today is in billions, and it is hard for the social media to completely control whatever is being posted. But end of the day, we have to understand new technologies like AI has been introduced, and a lot of companies are also investing in AI. Like for example, Twitter has recently introduced a new feature called community notes, through which we get to know what is the context about this news. So these particular reforms should be brought so as to make sure that the social media platform should be held liable in terms of what to post and when to post and what type of content should be posted or not. Thank you.
So I would also like to conclude that when we talk about numbers, this is not just numbers in hundreds of thousands. It's a numbers which can cross millions or billions. So it's also the internet that is being used by the contents by the creators also. So when it comes to content creation, the user has the authority to post something which is better and which will benefit the people. So when it comes to social media, it's just providing the harsh reality of how people are doing the content and how they are providing the content to the users. So always it's the duty of the users in order to make sure that what content is relevant for him and which is sort of misinformation also. It's also the duty for the content, it's also the duty for the consumers to make sure, cross-check the misinformation and also understand. There's no only one particular social media. There are multiple number of social medias. If X is providing something information and if Instagram is providing some sort of information, it's good in order to clarify which information is correct to the user. It's also, if my friend is talking about AI, the AI also provides generative information that is already going in the real world entities. So if the user is consuming some sort of criteria or the information, the user should also cross check through AI and also make sure that the content is